When Rames Rodriguez became an absolute sensation and superstar following the 2014 FIFA World Cup in Brazil by winning the Golden Boot with 6 goals as a midfielder, the expectations surrounding the Colombian were of a long and successful career filled with immense team and individual trophies, along with the prospect of becoming one of the very best of his generation. However, 10 years later, his career has most definitely taken a turn for the worse. The player, who was once considered as one, if not the hottest prospect in world football, and tailor-made for the biggest clubs in the world, now finds himself playing at Greek club Olympiacos. He went from being a 90 million euros Galacticos signing to now a representation of one of the biggest wastes of money in football history. Rames Rodriguez was a gifted player and delightful to watch play on the pitch. It is incredibly sad for football fans to see the complete waste of talent now, more than 10 years after his incredible World Cup in Brazil. He suffered constant injuries, clashed with the majority of his managers, which raised questions about his attitude, and reportedly got into a fight with one of his teammates. But the real reason that kickstarted his decline in the first place was the constant tactical evolution of football. Players number 10s like Rames Rodriguez were no longer required by a majority of managers at the highest level of football in Europe. Rames Rodriguez gained recognition from an early age in Colombia, as he became the youngest player to start a professional match in Colombia's first division at the age of 14 with Envigado. Transitioning to the Argentinian Premier Division with Banfield, he achieved the distinction of becoming the youngest foreign player to score in the league at the age of only 17. However, Rames' childhood was marked by challenges. Despite his father being a former professional football player, his family faced difficulties as his father left when he was still young. Raised by his mother and stepfather, he displayed a strong focus for football, driven by a passion for the sport from an early age. Operating in advanced roles as a number 10, he always showed a lot of versatility on the wing and up front. But it was the attacking midfield position just behind the striker as a false 9 where he excelled. Known for his exceptional vision and attacking prowess, whether inside or outside the box, Rames always possessed a magical touch with the ball, showcasing his ability to do virtually anything with the ball anywhere on the pitch. While not the fastest or most athletically gifted, his insane technical ability more than compensated for it. Following his standout performances in South America, French club Monaco opted to make a significant investment of 45 million euros on the player. This decision coincided with a crucial period for Monaco, a historically renowned French football club that had faced relegation to the second division in 2011, but had quickly bounced back in 2013, investing a crazy 137 million euros on players on the transfer market for their return to the French First Division. During this transfer window, Rames teamed up with Colombian teammate Radamel Falcao. Monaco's comeback season was evident as they secured an impressive second-place finish in their first season back in Ligue 1, a very remarkable achievement for a newly promoted team. At just 22 years old, Rames played a pivotal role in the team, earning recognition as Monaco's Player of the Season and being included in the French League Team of the Year. Operating in the crucial space between the attack and midfield, he displayed all his versatility and contributed with 9 goals and an impressive 13 assists throughout the season. The anticipation surrounding him was palpable, with many expecting a great performance in the upcoming World Cup. It was clear that Rames was on the brink of something special, but no one expected just how great Rames would do at the World Cup. At the 2014 World Cup in Brazil, Rames carried Colombia to one of their best runs in decades and scored some of the most memorable goals of the tournament, including the goal of the tournament which went on to win the Puskás Award that year. Following the tournament, Rames Rodriguez had now catapulted himself to a completely different level of stardom thanks to one of the greatest breakout performances in World Cup history, and so many top clubs now wanted to sign him. Eventually, as always, Real Madrid beat everyone, and they made a transfer fee of over 90 million euros. As expected, there was a lot of hype surrounding this transfer, as yet another South American player was set to grace the iconic Santiago Bernabeu. For Rames, this was really a dream come true, as he stated upon his arrival in Madrid. "The numbers mean nothing to me. I just want to help make history and bring joy to Madrid fans." Rames Rodriguez's signing was a clear statement from club president Florentino Perez that despite recently winning La Decima, Real Madrid were not stopping and were setting their eyes on even more European dominance. At the time, Real Madrid including so many talents, including Gareth Bale, Isco, Karim Benzema, and well, the best player in the world at the time, Cristiano Ronaldo. James actually had a great first season at the club. Despite missing 2 months because of injury, he scored an incredible 17 goals and 18 assists in only 46 matches. However, as things go in Madrid, if you don't win, you're out. And unfortunately, due to Real Madrid's failure to win a trophy that season, Carlo Ancelotti, then manager, was sacked and was subsequently replaced by Rafael Benitez as a manager. This new manager would be the first event that would kickstart the decline of James. The media heavily reported on Benitez's side. It was said that at the time the manager was unhappy as James apparently turned up overweight to pre-season. From James' side, he reportedly thought Benitez was showing favoritism towards Gareth Bale, which might not have been completely wrong seeing the extensive game time that was given to Gareth Bale. A notable incident in the Benitez-Rodriguez relationship happened early in the 2015-16 season. James suffered an injury which took him out for 2 months, and despite his recovery, he barely featured in any of the games following his comeback. Benitez said that James wasn't featuring due to a fitness issue, to which James answered with the Colombian national team, as he played a full 90 minutes just days later while on international duty. However, James wasn't the only player at Real Madrid that saw reduced game time. In fact, his direct competitor, Isco, was also receiving a lot less game time. And this is primarily due to the fact that the tactics Benitez introduced into the team required a much different player from the pair. And that someone was Casemiro, a more defensive-minded player. When Benitez got sacked and replaced by Zinedine Zidane, people expected James to once again become a regular starter. However, that didn't happen. Like Benitez, Zidane preferred Casemiro, and if a more attacking mid was needed, Isco was the preferred choice over James. The frustration was fair on James' part, as with 36 goals and 44 assists in 111 games in his first 3 years in Madrid, it showed that he was clearly performing well. But rather, for some reason, he just wasn't appreciated by a lot of his managers. As an attacking midfielder, James was very, very good on the ball when his team was in possession. But when his team was not in possession and defensive efforts were needed, then James did not look so good. He is not known for his pressing, which is a pretty large issue in today's modern football, where more and more coaches demand pressing and defensive movement from their strikers and offensive players. Furthermore, his tendency to frequently get injured throughout the season made it complicated for him to be seen as a long-term option by his managers. As the relationship with Zidane and his overall presence in Madrid continued to worsen, some pretty wild incidents happened, including a middle finger given by James Rodriguez at some journalists who were waiting outside the Colombian national team hotel. This was not a good look, and this led to James getting loads of criticism and bad press from journalists back in Spain, further worsening his reputation and perception amongst the Madrid fan base. Eventually, James got tired of this situation and his lack of game time and decided that it was the right time for change. Luckily, Bayern Munich were managed by his first Real Madrid boss, Carlo Ancelotti, and Ancelotti very much facilitated the transfer from Madrid to Bayern. This was the opportunity for James to revive his career and finally show the world that the flashes of greatness in the 2014 World Cup in Brazil were not just flashes. James had a decent first season in Bayern. Despite losing Carlo Ancelotti very early on, he helped the club to yet another Bundesliga title and contributed heavily to a semi-final finish in the Champions League, as Bayern only, unfortunately, were eliminated by Real Madrid. However, his second season in Munich was not as successful. Ex-Frankfurt manager Niko Kovac was appointed as the new manager ahead of the season, and this manager change once again marked the end for James at Bayern. He continuously grappled with fitness challenges, a constant in his football career. This struggle was made worse by the clear lack of favour from his coach Niko Kovac, leading to never-ending bench time that second season. The internal dynamics at Bayern Munich also revealed the conflicting stance on James's future at the club. While club chairman advocated for his continued presence, club president, driven by financial considerations, opposed the idea. Thereby, James was sent back to Madrid in the hope of a fresh start. However, the return to Real Madrid did not bring the desired fresh start for James. Instead, James found himself victim to injuries and unfavourable tactical choices, which kept him on the bench for the majority of the time. In 2020, James opted to join Everton, again reuniting with manager Carlo Ancelotti. And once again, James had a promising start to his new club, but once again, injuries came to put a halt to any positive momentum James had built up for himself. Simultaneously, the Colombian national team started to lessen its reliance on him, sparking tensions for James. The rise of Luis Diaz made it clear that James would not be the sole focus of the national team in the years to come. The culmination of these tensions reached a boiling point during a shocking 6-1 loss to Ecuador, with reports suggesting that a physical confrontation between teammates Jefferson Lerma and James had happened. However, this was rapidly denied by both James and the Colombian Football Federation. But it was clear that something had changed, and in 2021, James, the once savior of the Colombian national team, was dropped from the Copa America list and had to watch Colombia compete in the tournament from home. The summer of 2021 marked another transition as Ancelotti left Everton to return to Real Madrid, leaving James at the mercy of another manager, which was none other than Rafael Benitez, the manager that had marked the beginning of his downfall in Madrid. Clearly, now James had to leave Everton, and whilst exploring various options for his future, James chose to sign with a club in Qatar. This was the face he made when he first saw his new team in Qatar play. Yeah, James had to leave again. Subsequently, he made a move to Greek club Olympiacos, reuniting with former Real Madrid teammate Marcelo, and currently continues to play there to this day.